I think LNG is the future of gas. I mean, the traditional gas model has been point to point, via pipeline. LNG has allowed gas to flow from stranded sources around the world to the demand centers, and I think that can only grow from here. LNG demand has grown in the last 3 years in a low price environment of 11% year over year. Some of that's attributed to just unbelievable demand growth from China, some demand growth from India, and then other places that are depleting their resources like Pakistan and Bangladesh that we never even thought about 5 years ago. So I think LNG has to be the future of gas demand. More than anything, the industry has had to have a really hard look at itself over the last few years and understand what it wants to be. So when we had $100 oil and gas in Asia was $15 in MMBTU, projects were coming off that didn't make a whole lot of economic sense in a normal environment, and you make bad decisions in those type of high price environments, as we're seeing. The issue now becomes, there's been a very limited amount of capital expenditure in the industry over the last 3 years, so we need to start making those deals happen if we want to avoid us going back to that high price environment again. I'm very excited about the demand growth in LNG over the next few years. I think China will continue to consume enormous amounts of natural gas every time you go there. The sheer scale of the place just descends upon you. I mean, they have 100 cities that have 2 or more million people in it, and 3 cities that are 25 million people. I mean, the scale for us in the U.S., even though this is the 4th largest country in the world, is almost not unfathomable, right? It's just massive. And up until now, they've been a massive coal consumer and diesel and fuel in the more remote areas. And LNG is the only thing that's going to be able to get that gas to them in order to solve some of the pollution issues they have. But China is sort of like the story we always bring out. India is just as big in terms of population. They have just as much problem with pollution, and they need that solution as well. Then there are places, like I said earlier, like Pakistan and Bangladesh, that they have gas infrastructure, they had gas reserves, and those are all depleting, and so now they just want to bring gas into the infrastructure that already exists to be able to transport it around. And then places like Taiwan and that had nuclear fleet, they want to decommission their nuclear fleet. All of those places are now buying LNG that didn't necessarily buy it before. So I'm very excited about demand.